Hi, Katrina. Thanks for your patience. Um, Sometimes it's hard to squeeze. I have a day job and then I work at the shop, so sometimes it's hard to squeeze these in. But I wanted to do it last night, but I had a bunch of intense readings at the shop last night, and it was just like I'm tanked out, I'm tapped out. So, anyways, so Libra, I'm going to do the full Celtic just to kind of check in. I don't know how familiar you are with tarot, but like I'll try to be as succinct as possible, especially since this is long distance and you're not here to ask questions. So we will, I like to do this with you kind of, and it's kind of a pain to watch me shuffle like, oh, this isn't exciting, but it's kind of like, because you're not here. And if you were sitting in front of me, I'd be shuffling just in front of you. But anyway, all right, I'm going to do one more shuffle, cut the cards. Ooh, that was actually a good shuffle. I'm going to do another one just like that. Yes. Okay. Nice and balanced, like Libra. Okay. With my left hand, I'm cutting the deck. And I'm ready to, and I will, of course, tell you each card that comes out and explain the placement of the card. And then usually if there's if you have any questions or whatever, I can, we can definitely do that. I do try to take some clarification on this, and yeah. So if I need it, but sometimes, since we're not in person, you might need the clarification. So current situation, we have the 10 of Swords or the 10 of Needles reversed. This is actually, it's kind of a rough card, but when it's reversed, it tells me that your current situation, you've been through some hard times, and now you're coming out of those hard times. And how I know that is what's crossing this or complementing is the Knight of Wands. So the 10 of Swords reversed is some sort of hard time that was painful, but it's an ending. 10s are endings. 10s are painful or endings that you've been through the worst of it, and now you're starting to heal from it. And we have this Knight of Wands, which is, movement forward. The Knight of Wands is about absolutely moving forward. It can be a little bit about adventure and taking a leap of faith and, moving forward. But based on some of the other things around here, I do feel this is a little bit of a healing phase. There's a lot of swords. So when I see a lot of swords, sometimes there are rough times that just need your attention, and that there's going to be a learning experience from it. In your headspace, we have, that you have all swords and all wands. So you have all air and all fire. So you're an air sign. In your headspace, you have the King of Fire, or the King of Wands reversed. So that being in your headspace, that's kind of where you're at right now. Like you want to move forward. You want to just get to the other side. If there's something that's been very difficult, I don't know if it's an illness. A lot of times when I see swords, sometimes it can be some sort of illness, whether it's yourself, whether it's a family member, but it's almost like, yes, we're ready to get to the other side. And your current situation suggests that you are on the way. You've already been through the worst of it, but your headspace is still kind of like, oh my gosh, but this isn't moving fast enough. I need this to go quicker. I'm feeling like, it also could be feeling pessimistic about things. But again, this is in your headspace, because the reality is saying you've been through the worst of it and you are ready to move on. In your recent past, we have the 6 of Wands reversed. Exactly. Feeling defeated, feeling, and this is a past card, but this is kind of going through something tough, going through a battle, going through something and feeling defeated, feeling discouraged. But we're going to leave this energy in the past, because what's the next thing, of course, is your current situation, which is the 10 of Swords reversed, which is the healing process. And again, I feel it's either surgery, medical, something. If it's not something like that, it's something I feel that has to do with recovery. And I don't just mean like inner healing, child healing, or, it's a little bit heavier than that. It's a little bit more tangible. There seems to be a component of physical healing, or there seems to be a component of you know, going through some major changes and coming out the other side. In your future, it's interesting. You have 2 sixes. So 6s is about outer balance. So in your future, you have the 6 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords, I love the 6 of Swords because the 6 of Swords in your future suggests that you're going into calmer waters. You're taking your lessons with you. You're taking whatever you've learned, whatever you've healed from, and you're moving on into calmer waters. That's what I'm saying. This is all about kind of moving through some sort of hardship, and you're already on the other side, although your mindset isn't quite on the other side. Foundation for your spread, baby steps, is the Page of Swords. Again, you have all wands and all swords. So, you know, as a reader, swords a lot of times is just really hardships that we have to go through in order to come out the other side. The wands is really about kind of like the action propelling us forward. So actively healing, actively, and being invested, right? So the Page of Swords in your foundation, there's children involved here. They're the foundation for this whole spread. This is the foundation of moving forward. This is also baby steps. This is also kind of like tentatively putting your foot back in the water, you know, getting back out there. And again, taking the time that it takes to heal. So there's quite a difference between what's kind of in your headspace as opposed to really what the reality of situation is and what is supporting you. It's very optimistic, even though the headspace isn't quite there yet, isn't quite convinced. All right, so we're going to go over to the other side, which is the advice column. Things look great over here in the advice column, to be honest. So how you feel about this current situation, about what you're going through today and what you've been through in the past and moving forward, you have the 5 of Pentacles. So the 5 of Pentacles is the card that heads towards recovery. It's the card of feeling unsure. It can be the card of feeling abandoned, or I don't know if I'm heading in the right direction, or I'm afraid of it. Can actually even be just really fear of financial loss. It can be practical. I'm not saying it's not. There's some realism in this, which is kind of like a fear of moving forward with, financial situations, especially if this is a sickness and you've had to take time off work, or if it's a sickness in the family where you've taken a lot of time off. It's either way, it's this practical card of, oh my gosh, what's my financial situation? What's my mental health situation? Very practical card, honestly. And 5s are challenges, and Pentacles are about things, property, jobs, money, family, stability. So not surprising, but it's a minor, so not a problem. What's interesting with your spread is that you don't have any of the major arcana. You have almost all fire here, except with the exception of this card, which is Pentacles, which is Earth. But that's not surprising because of all this heavy-duty energy of doubt, of fear. It's making you feel possibly a little unstable, a little shook up, a little, I don't know what I'm doing moving forward. In your external, we have the Empress. So this is Libra. This is Libra energy. The Empress, and I know this deck is probably not the best. It's just this is the one of the decks I have at home. The Empress is mom card. It's the mom card. Because it's coming out in your external, it's almost like pulling yourself up and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. I mean, there's just a lot of that in this. The Empress is a beautiful card. Not so much in this deck, but the connotation is she represents Venus, which is Libra and Taurus. And so you're showing up in this spread. And if I look at it, if I'm reading it, I'm going to take a couple cards because it's your external. It's kind of saying that, like, yeah, this is what's moving forward. This is abundance. This is nurturing. This is the archetypal mother card. Sometimes when she comes out, she's a pregnancy, especially in the external. So I like to throw that out there. I'm going to take a couple cards. Yep, Wheel of Fortune reversed, coming out of a hard time. We have the 6 of Pentacles reversed. Yep, coming out of a time where we need to get equal give and take. And then, of course, we have the Knight of Swords. So The next card out to kind of clarify the Empress, which again is this card of abundance, is the Wheel of Fortune reversed, especially if you've been through, and this is really the only major you have. This is a fated wheel. So this is something that, if you are going back, like, what could I have done different? It's fate, right? Not much you could do differently here in this situation. But the Wheel of Fortune reverse definitely is like karmic debt being paid down, or lessons learned, or hey, the wheel is eventually going to go, move upright. But either way, the Wheel of Fortune coming out is kind of saying that wheel is going to turn in your favor eventually. And like I said, I feel like you've been through some hardship and you're on the other side. And for some reason, it keeps coming up that it's something medical, or it's something surgically related or health related. That's what I'm picking up on. So, and then the very next card we have is the Six of Pentacles reversed. So the Six of Pentacles is the card of charity. It's the card of equal give and take. So when this card's reversed, feeling out of sorts. It's, the Empress is saying, don't worry. Things are going to get better. You have to kind of go through this. The Wheel of Fortune, or time is a factor here. There has to be time, and the equal give and take, or the giving card is like, you're just kind of on the other end of that, but that's not going to be forever. And it's interesting because you do have the Five of Pentacles, you have the Six of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles headed towards recovery. Six of Pentacles not quite there yet, but headed towards there. And then the nice thing coming out is this Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is moving forward with a bunch of knowledge, a bunch of lessons, mental clarity, feeling a little bit more apprised of the situation, feeling like, okay, I get it. So I'm going to pull a card at the bottom of the deck for the challenge. And your challenge is the Hierophant, which is Taurus. Taurus is also coming out in the Empress. So the Hierophant talks about getting back into a routine, getting back into structure, it can also talk about your faith. The Hierophant is definitely a card. It's the Pope, so definitely about a card of faith. So I actually like it. Very positive. Hopes and fears. You have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is the card of planning. It's the card of good luck. It's the card of, hey, my ships are finally coming in. It's a very optimistic card of Aries, so it's a very optimistic card. It's kind of like, and when you see threes have to do with a group, a team effort, honestly. But it's a very supportive team effort. So that's your hope, is that, with a little bit of planning moving forward, with a little bit of good luck that I've kind of foreseen, your ships are finally coming in. And again, it's coming up in your hopes. So very optimistic, because when we first start this reading in your headspace, not as optimistic as you'd like to be. But as we get here, it's kind of like, but your hope is. And then in your outcome, this is so much better when this card's reversed. You have the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is the self-sabotage card. It's the card of feeling trapped. So when this card is reversed, this is the card of, again, freedom, recovery, feeling better, getting yourself unstuck, unbound, cutting through the red tape. So this reading to me definitely talks about some sort of hardship that you're going through. And it does look like you are slowly getting either your mindset around to it, doing the healing. You're coming through the worst of it. In your external, there is a lot of, with the Empress, she's saying, hey, you know what, just have faith. The Hierophant's kind of saying that too. And the Wheel of Fortune is like, if you're going back through things and beating yourself up, I should have done this, I should have done that. It's like, no, you're right where you're supposed to be, even if they're, painful lessons. So, interesting though, very interesting that most of the cards that you have is fire and air. So again, swords and wands, which swords have to do with logic, with knowledge, with mental clarity, with communication. Wands have to do with action, moving forward, actually taking lessons we've learned and moving forward. So it's a very optimistic spread. And it looks like you're on the other side of whatever bad mojo or surgery or crisis, health issue, whatever, moving forward. That's kind of how I'm reading this. I don't think it's about work per se. I don't think it's about, because you don't have a lot of pentacles. I mean, sometimes it can be work related if there is, if in this sort of a spread, if it was detrimental to your health, or if it was, if you were feeling like, I don't know how to move forward. That's not really what I saw here. And it's really not, it could be definitely about family, but not in the way of, there's just a lot of lessons being learned. And again, this comes up to me as medical. So, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But when I say medical, kind of a broad, because of course that can encompass stress, that can encompass a lot of things. So I don't know. I do like also that in your foundation, we do have the Page of Swords. So that's like, we have all these kids, even though these are naughty kids, it's basically, this is the foundation. So whatever's happening moving forward is getting better. So I hope you, thank you. First of all, thanks for being patient. I hope this resonates with you. If you need any clarification or have any questions, please do reach out to me, and we can either pull clarifiers, or I can kind of go back through it and just reiterate what I was talking about here. So anyways, thanks for your patience and thanks for your time.